Hey, everybody, welcome to our post show where we sit around in our orange chairs and we talk about everything that we just experienced. Welcome. I'm joined with Elizabeth and Andy and Matt and myself. And man, there's a lot of information this morning. We're going to get to all of that information, but I just want to see how you guys are doing. How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing good. A little disappointed we didn't talk more about aliens, given that cool trailer. I was like, oh, sweet. We're finally going to talk about aliens. Oh, angels. Okay. They are among us.
I know, the video was a little misleading.
I think that's the whole
UFOs.
thing of it, but I did like it, though. It's a cool, in-your-face way of...
So you want a full series on aliens?
Of course I do. Yeah.
I don't know if we could do a full series.
No, but Dave can do at least
could be
one
like,
message.
Dave,
you know
what we should do?
Phone home.
You know what we should do?
What?
Is we should have Dave wear that alien carrying a person or whatever blow up Halloween costume. When we do that.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That would be great.
that
I would
good?
like that a lot. Yeah.
What are the
That'd be
odds of us being able to convince him to wear that on stage on a Sunday?
That's
I'm going to say
probably zero.
Yeah, pretty
For a
pretty
TikTok,
TikTok, he'd do it.
that would be easy.
low. Okay, we're going to have to find that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Matt, how you doing?
I'm tired and my throat hurts because I ate a tortilla chip wrong this week. And
Oh my gosh,
That's a-
earlier this week?
on
then
Thursday,
You were attacked by a tortilla
I was
chip.
attacked by a tortilla chip and my throat hurts now.
Wow.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we're going to get through this post show. You'll be fine. Oh no, my
What kind
iPad
of a
disconnected. I'm
angel
gonna try
helped
to
you make sure
reconnect.
that chip didn't go down totally and block everything?
Oh, they were
There we
not.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as I reset the technology here, we had a little bit of a disconnect. There we go. Apart from let's save all of the stuff from Dave's talk because we're going to jump into it. But apart from the message, what impacted you this morning? Something that might have happened, an interaction you had, something that God did maybe this morning that impacted you.
Being back, because it sounds weird to say I've been gone, but I was gone the week before the big party and then gone last week. So it feels like I've been gone for a month and a half. But a bunch of people came up and were like, hey, we missed you. I was like, oh, thanks. I miss you all too. But it's one of those things you don't really think about it till you're gone. And then it's like, yeah, I didn't get to talk to the people I normally talk to and things like that. And people that, so that kind of impacted me. I was like, oh, I guess I am here for a reason. And people
It
do.
always feels good when
Yeah.
people miss
Miss
you,
you.
right?
I
You didn't say, I know, I'm about to say, I was like, I didn't miss you either.
What about you guys? What impacted you?
Andy being back? Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. I shed a little tear when I saw Andy this morning because I was so excited. I really like the song I Speak Jesus just because it's really fun to play.
Yeah. Worship in general, I feel like was really good.
Yeah, worship
This
was
morning.
good.
Yeah, it was good. Moving.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people were able to connect with it, and
Yeah.
it was just, especially second service. First service was good too, but second service, I was like, oh, this feels a little different.
Yeah, there's a lot of good singers that show up for second service, and help fill that space. But anytime we can get the body together and we can get people into a place where they can connect and they can truly worship and they're free to do that, that's the whole reason why we do what we do on Sunday mornings is to try to create an environment where people can come and fully and freely worship. And this morning, obviously. Everything is selected very intentionally with intention and purpose. And this morning was all about, putting our trust, our faith, our hope, everything into Jesus. And yeah, finishing with that song, that definitely was pretty impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Anybody has anything before we jump into it?
No.
All right. What's your first thought when you heard that we were going to be talking about the unseen world? What are your thoughts about the unseen world?
X-Files music started playing in my head.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, yeah, here we go.
Yep.
But no, it's cool stuff because it's meant like Dave talked about angels are mentioned, over 100 times in the Bible, demons and this stuff. You don't really think about it because you just read it, but then you're like, oh, wait a minute. No, there is this unseen world that in movies and stuff, it's always, some fantastical thing. And we don't really think about, at least I don't. Yeah, they are always here. I just can't see them. So
Right.
it's a really good reminder of what's going on spiritually that we just can't see, as well as stuff that we
I feel like, well, I've known that we were supposed to do this a couple months ago, and then it got moved. So, like, I've known that we were going to do this at some point. But it's also, like, I feel like things like this are so hard for me to wrap my head around it unless, like, Dave is up there, like, actually, like, I can't just open up my Bible and then, like, figure this kind of stuff out. Like, that's just not how my brain works. So I'm just kind of like, I feel like I'm just like, buh, and it's just all like trying to wrap my head around it. So I feel like it was like Dave, I don't know if he said it in second service, but in first service, there's one point he goes, sorry, this kind of feels like you're getting like shot with a fire hose or something. And that's kind of what it is, but it's like in a good way, because I know like nothing, I feel like.
Yeah, and I mean, to your point, I mean that's Dave's function. That's his purpose here, right? As our lead pastor, as the shepherd of information of this flock, he is going to bring information to us that he is trained to bring. You know, he's studied it. He's been doing this. That's his purpose. And so, yeah, there are times where it can be overwhelming to try to understand this stuff by ourselves, and to have somebody guide us through it and walk with us, instruct us, lay out the information. And Dave does a great job of providing us, you know, the raw information, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're gonna jump in, we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty and kind of unpack that together.
Yeah, because I feel like you can hear a bunch of random stuff like online, like on TikTok. There's probably so many TikToks talking about this kind of thing.
There is.
And I'm just not on that side of TikTok. But I mean, even like with the series that we did, maybe last year, maybe it was the year before, the like end of the world one.
Oh, right.
So like that one, like I appreciate Dave just kind of being like, here it is, you know, to not try to like, I don't know. Every TikTok I see about end of the world, it's like trying to scare you that it's happening tomorrow.
And they have that dumb music playing in the background.
Yeah. So, like, I appreciate that Dave is just kind of like, this is, like, there's one point, like, the, like, 2 different kinds of angels or something.
Yep.
Where he's like, this is what we know from the Bible. There might be more, but this is what we know. You know,
Right.
like that, to where he's just very, like, this is what it is, you know? To just kind of, there you go.
Yep.
It's helpful for me to not seem so scared by every TikTok I see.
Right.
For sure.
Random things.
For sure. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
This type of stuff is always really difficult to like feel real. It always kind of feels very fairy tale-ish sometimes. Well, it does a lot. Just because I don't know, I can't see it, and we have a lot of stories that are stories and movies, just like that are very similar, and it's very difficult to make this as real as Jesus' life story and the stories of the apostles afterwards and things like that.
Yeah, and I you know, to echo what you say, because it's unseen and because we have no personal or visual reference, we only have the characteristics that are explained in the Bible, and because some of those come with supernatural events, and there are things that we just don't comprehend, we just don't understand. It can feel very fantastical, right? Yeah. Which kind of leads us into this next question I have. Like, what misconceptions did you guys have about angels, or what misconceptions are there out there that you know exist that have helped shape our kind of cultural view of angels that might be at contradiction to what Dave explained to us today?
I think a lot of people think when they think angels, they just think these beings that are mindless just because they're, you know, you always hear they don't have free will like we did, and they're there to do God's bidding. But they think of it more of, like Dave was saying, they're kind of bumbling around here on earth, like with earthly personality traits, like, well, I don't know if I'm a good angel or not, or they're, you know, I'm trying to earn my wings, or, you know, there's always that dumb angel and there's a smart angel. I'm like, no, they're all put on this earth. They all have a specific task, and God sets it forth for them. So whenever I think of I do think of, like, you know, the like this is when an angel gets its wings and stuff like that. And,
Right.
I think that's just the most common misconception of most people I know. They're just like, angels are dumb. I was like, no, they're not. They're just, we just put our human instincts into them, and we shouldn't do that, unfortunately.
Dave did clear up that angels are hot, which is
Yeah.
really great
You
to know.
mentioned that. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, they don't draw an ugly angel. I'll tell you. that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You heard it here first at Connections.
Yeah.
Angels are hot.
I also, there's always in my mind, I'm like, do you think sometimes though they're like, he's gonna send Gabriel again? Like they're like, yeah, sorry, Clark, but they're like, you don't have a cool name, so Gabriel sounds better when read aloud.
Yeah. What other misconceptions you guys have, or that you know that exists out there?
I don't know. Mine is just like if I see it in a movie, it's just like if I see it, that's kind of just how it is in my head, especially if I'm like, I don't know what they actually look like. So like, you know, like it's just now it's like taking what I have seen and then knowing that that's not real. That's just some weird video fake version of it. So
Video
it's like a
or
weird.
or paintings of like Dave mentioned,
Yeah, the
cherubs,
weird
you know,
little, like,
and the
babies.
difference. Yeah.
Yep.
Those babies
Yeah.
are always weird, but
babies are weird.
baby.
Yeah.
Then they grew up to be weird grown-ups, but that's okay.
Yeah. I remember, I mean, angels kind of exist in our pop culture references, right? We've talked about it in movies and TV or whatever.
Songs, people
There was
mention
a-
it in songs,
yeah.
even when they don't believe there's
You
talk
know,
of
there was
angels,
that
so.
show in the 90s, Touched by an Angel, and
Highway to Heaven was basically.
yep. There was even a cartoon in the early 80s. Do you remember that was Gary Coleman? Remember from Different
Oh,
Strokes?
yeah.
Gary Coleman was an angel trying to like earn his halo or his wing or something, and he
think it
was
was a
sent
halo.
to go help little kids.
Yep.
So we're constantly bombarded with information that just it might be cute or nice or warm feeling information, but it definitely misrepresents how the angels are described or their function or their purpose.
Yeah.
That we have. So, what's something maybe that you learned this morning for the first time that you're like, wow, that was like surprising to hear, or that was like really interesting or fascinating, or you're excited to learn more about?
I would, I've never really thought about the classification of angels that, seraphim. I've always read the words, but I was like, oh, they're all just doing what God needs them to do at that time. Knowing that they're set aside for very specific things is incredibly interesting because it's like, yeah, even God created angels with certain gifts. And that for us as humans you have gifts that I don't have. There's certain gifts that angels have that are used for this specific function for God's kingdom. And then there's certain, so I've never really thought of it that way. I just think they're all up there and God just, Michael, go. And they have, but he picks them according to what they're made for. So
Right.
that's interesting to me. Follow that one.
I know, you just looked at me and you're like,
Yeah,
well,
I learned
crushed
something
it.
new.
What you
Nailed
learned today?
I never realized how many there were. I thought there was going to be like 30 or 40 or something. I don't know. I never really cared enough to know how many there were, I guess. But there's a lot of them. There's like almost an infinite number of them. That was kind of cool. I also tend to forget that my heart is a valued target. And that's like they're there to help to try to protect that, but also there are people working to get that.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. Could be anxiety inducing, but probably shouldn't be.
To know that there's a battle going on specifically for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I don't
Yeah.
feel like I'm worthy enough of having a battle being fought over me,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah. Kind of, I don't know. It makes me think about the night terrors when I was a child that I used to get and like wake up screaming and the figures in the room that I would see. And it was weird stuff.
Sure.
What about you, Elizabeth? Anything you learned this morning?
Well, I mean, I guess I learned everything because, like, the same thing. I haven't really.
Congratulations. You
Yeah.
know everything now.
I'm like
I learned
looking.
everything.
No, I'm looking
Really
at my
productive day for
notes.
Elizabeth.
I'm looking at my notes to try to be like, okay, what's like the main thing? But it's like I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, I probably maybe like considered that there were like different functions for different, but you know, like I never actually like sat down and was like, okay, there's these kind of angels and this like, and the whole thought of like, oh yeah, like obviously the Holy Spirit everywhere, but then like that he said like angels are like localized or something about that. Like I was like, oh, it's weird to think about like
Yeah.
that. And the
And
last,
I'm sorry to cut you
No, you're
off. We're
fine.
gonna have to wrap this up, but I mean that's kind of the whole purpose and the function of
Yeah.
this series, right? The unseen world is around us,
Yep.
and there are battles for our hearts, our
Mm-hmm.
souls, our minds, and this series is going to open all of that up, and we're excited about that. And that's going to lead to a lot of questions that people might have. And if you have questions, please submit them to us. We would love to talk about them every single week in our Q&A. And we know there's going to be a lot of questions about this
Yeah.
particular series, so get those questions into us. We'd love to talk to them. Guys, thanks for joining me this morning. Thank you for joining us online. We hope to see you guys back again next week. Until then, have a great week.